NicholasDKristof, Tightrope, Americans Reaching for Hope. Welcome to the summary of A Tightrope, Americans Reaching for Hope, a compelling book written by critically acclaimed journalists NicholasDKristof and Sheryl WuDunn. This book dives into the harrowing lives of working-class Americans and the policies that have contributed to their declining standard of living since the 1970s. By combining hard data with personal stories, the authors provide a stark depiction of the effects of conservative ideologies on people's lives. Key topics in our summary include the recent decrease in United States life expectancy, the role of government policies in working-class struggles, and potential solutions to address these challenges. Get ready to explore this crucial work seeking to understand the crisis affecting millions in the United States.
America's Working Class Crisis. NicholasDKristof and Sheryl WuDunn's Tightrope exposes the decline of living standards among working-class Americans since the 1970s, leading to the first persistent life expectancy decline in the United States in a century. The authors analyze the shift from progressive to conservative policies that prioritize individual responsibility for personal hardships. They recommend focusing remedial actions on children in poverty and provide profiles of working-class Americans to offer an empathetic perspective. The book weaves history, policy analysis, and alarming hard data confronting the economic and social fabric of America, calling for substantive action to restore broken systems. While the work may challenge conservative ideology, Kristof and WuDunn present compelling evidence, making a powerful case for the reader to advocate for those most affected by this crisis. The harsh reality of American life. It's shocking to learn that life expectancy in the United States declined for 3 consecutive years, with young Americans having a 55% greater chance of dying by age 19 than their peers in comparable wealthy countries. Deaths of despair resulting from alcoholism, drug overdoses, and suicides account for at least 203,000 deaths per year. In their book, Tightrope, Kristof and WuDunn argue that working-class Americans with a high school education are living on the brink, where one misstep can have disastrous consequences for themselves and their families. The consequences are dire, with more people dying every 2 weeks than in the Iraq and Afghanistan wars. Decline in American well-being. The authors highlight the United States' poor performance in the 2018 Social Progress Index, ranking 32nd in Internet access, 39th in access to clean water, 40th in child mortality, 50th in personal safety, and 61st in high school enrollment. Other advanced nations lead in high school graduation and healthcare access. Today's median net worth of U.S. households is lower than in 2000, and median wages for workers without college degrees stand well below 1979 levels. Childhood has become deadlier in the U.S. than in other advanced nations. About 13 million children live in poverty, including 2 million in extreme poverty, and 115,000 children are homeless. Wealthy versus working-class calamities. Kristof and WuDunn's book explores the government policy errors causing working-class struggles. The authors highlight mass incarceration, inadequate healthcare and education, poor spending on children, and tax laws benefiting the rich. The wealthy also decreased the IRS's resources to audit deductions. Kristof and WuDunn suggest funding early childhood development and family planning for low-income teenage girls. They reveal that 1 in 4 American girls becomes pregnant by the age of 19. Furthermore, local property taxes fund public education, allowing affluent areas access to better schools, resulting in top-rated university admissions. Impoverished areas with African American or Hispanic populations suffer substandard schools. Class disparities. Kristof and WuDunn examine working-class struggles rooted in government policies that span decades and have resulted in systemic inequality. The book lists several policies such as mass incarceration, inadequate health insurance, unequal public education, lack of spending on children, and tax laws that favor the rich. Kristof and WuDunn suggest that the government should help working-class people by funding programs that promote early childhood development, family planning for low-income teenage girls, and by providing a better public education system in impoverished areas with African American or Hispanic populations. Poverty and Policy in America. Kristof and WuDunn's book dissects the consequences of Reagan's policies and the American perspective towards poverty. The authors argue that the belief that poverty stems from personal failure has become more prevalent in America. They discuss the impact of cutting social services and the rise in drug use and joblessness. The authors also compare America's criminal approach towards drug addiction with Portugal's public health solution, which reduced drug-related deaths. Trump's presidency campaign, which garnered support from working-class families, failed to improve their situation. Kristof and WuDunn paint a gloomy picture of poverty in American society. Solutions for America's decline. Kristof and WuDunn suggest various solutions that could prevent America's decline. These include expanding Medicare to reduce unequal access to healthcare and lowering its eligibility age to 50 for those without job-based coverage. They also propose expanding access to high-quality early childhood programs and paying a government-funded monthly allowance for each child. Additionally, they suggest granting all Americans an account with $2,000 at birth that they can withdraw for education, retirement, buying a home, or investing in a business. Furthermore, they propose to establish a right to work for everyone and guarantee employment through the government. Damning Portrait of a Wounded Nation. NicholasDKristof and Sheryl WuDunn's book delves into a persistent issue that affects all political affiliations. Their study offers a compelling and critical depiction of the nation's numerous problems and stresses readers to take action. It is an authoritative account that is likely to become a standard textbook, inspiring readers to confront the reality of a nation in distress.
In Tightrope, Americans Reaching for Hope, NicholasDKristof and Sheryl WuDunn present a sobering account of the struggles working-class Americans face in the grip of conservative ideologies. The authors deliver striking data, powerful anecdotes, and policy discussions, ultimately calling for urgent action to address the widening inequalities. The key takeaways from this summary are the alarming decline in life expectancy, the disintegration of American social and economic fabrics, the systemic impact of conservative policies, and recommendations for change that can help restore stability and hope. By tackling these pressing issues honestly and thoughtfully, Kristof and WuDunn inspire readers to seek a brighter and more inclusive future for all Americans.